As the tensions between Iran and the United States peak despite 2 rounds of negotiations, Hormuz waterway has emerged as the focal point of the standoff once again. On Tuesday, the Iranian state TV announced the closure of the Strait of Hormuz amid military drills with Russia. The Iranian media claimed that the closure was implemented for a limited number of hours to manage safety concerns during the drills. The Tasnim news agency, said to be closely linked to the Revolutionary Guard, said the missiles launched from within Iranian territory and from coastal positions hit designated targets in the strait as part of the exercise. Iran has been holding military drills with Russia, even as Americans brought its warships closer to the Middle East. Footage released by Iran showed members of the paramilitary Revolutionary Guard's naval special forces board a vessel in the exercise. Those forces are believed to have been used in the past to seize vessels in key international waterways. Lying between Iran to the north and Oman and the United Arab Emirates to the south, the Strait of Hormuz links the Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Sea. On an average, roughly 20 million barrels of crude oil, condensate, and fuels pass through the strait daily. Major producers, including Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, and Iran, depend on it to export energy. Nearly half of India's crude oil and around 60% of its natural gas imports pass through the strait. China, Japan, and South Korea are also heavily dependent on supplies shipped through these waters. According to reports, any prolonged closure of the strait would likely push up oil prices sharply, raising fuel, manufacturing, and transport costs worldwide and fueling inflation. In the past, Iran has harassed shipping through the strait. During the 1980s Iran-Iraq War, both sides attacked tankers and other vessels, using naval mines to completely shut down traffic at points. The Strait of Hormuz's temporary closure follows reports that Iranian gunboats had approached a US-flagged tanker in the area, and that the US shot down an Iranian drone near the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea. Iran's parliament approved a motion backing closure of the strait. Amid naval drills, Iran had also issued notice to airmen, saying it intended to carry out rocket launch tests.
Iran has issued a Notice to Airmen, or NOTAM, saying that it plans rocket launches in areas across its south from Thursday, Reuters reported. The NOTAM notice was issued amid heightened tensions with the United States, which has deployed warships near Iran. Donald Trump has been hinting at military strikes against Iran if the nuclear negotiations fail, adding that the Iranian officials were bad negotiators.
So I'll be involved in those talks indirectly, and they'll be very important. We'll see what can happen. It's been typically Iran's a very tough negotiator. They're good negotiators, or bad negotiators. I would say they're bad negotiators because we could have had a deal instead of sending the B-2s in to knock out their nuclear potential, and we had to send the B-2s. I hope they're going to be more reasonable. They want to make a deal.
I've been told that a deal is next to impossible.
No, I think they want to make a deal. I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
On Tuesday, the Iranian state TV announced that the country fired live missiles toward the Strait of Hormuz. The international commercial route was also shut for several hours. Additionally, the Russian Navy released video footage on Wednesday showing one of its warships docking in an Iranian port ahead of a joint exercise. The Baltic Fleet's corvette Stoiki and the Iranian Navy's frigate Alvend, corvette Shahid Sayed Shirazi, and missile boat Nizeh conducted the PASEX naval exercise in the Gulf of Oman, said the Baltic Fleet's press service. The Strait of Hormuz is an important waterway, being the key route for supertankers carrying oil and gas from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, Qatar, Bahrain, the UAE, and Iran. The vast majority of it goes to markets in Asia, including Iran's only remaining oil customer, China. Iran has insisted that it does not intend to develop nuclear weapons, as both the sides have held 2 rounds of negotiations brokered by Oman.
How else can we say that we are not pursuing nuclear weapons, and we never will? They can verify all they want. If they truly want Iran not to possess nuclear weapons, we are ready for any verification they request.
Tensions between Iran and the United States have escalated after Donald Trump initially threatened to launch a military strike against Tehran after its bloody crackdown on last month's protests. On Tuesday, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei warned the United States that the strongest army in the world might sometimes receive such a slap that it cannot get back on its feet.
We are in mourning. I want to state clearly that we are indeed grieving. It seems to them, and he says it repeatedly, the President of the United States, that our army is the most powerful army in the entire world. The most powerful army in the world might sometimes take such a devastating blow that it cannot recover from it. They say we sent a warship towards Iran. Oh, really? A warship, of course, is a very dangerous piece of equipment. However, what is far more dangerous than the warship itself is the weapon that possesses the capability to send this entire vessel to the very bottom of the ocean. The President of the United States, the reason, judging by his recent statements, it has been said that for 47 long years, America has been utterly unable to destroy the Islamic Republic. It has even complained about this failure to its very own people. Yes, for 47 years, America has simply not been able to eliminate the Islamic Republic. That's a good admission. I'm not saying you won't be able to do it either. If negotiations are to take place, predetermining their outcome is a wrong and foolish thing to do. So you're saying, let's talk about this particular issue and come to an agreement. Why do you predetermine the outcome? We absolutely must reach this agreement.